2, and I am extremely excited to welcome every one of you. Apparently, I had joined, and because always Jaco always does the first introduction, I didn't realize where I was going to add myself to stage, that I could add myself to stage. Can you imagine? And here I am, seeing myself as very, very tech advanced somebody, but fumbling with how to manage bringing myself on stage for um what do you call it, um the um class. So I finally figured it out. I was just like, just try it. And so I'm here. Olamide is here. Olamide will be speaking on personal branding. Now, one of the things that I love about um, teachers and teaching is that it is more powerful when you teach from experience, when you teach from what you have done rather than what you have learned, when you teach based on how you have executed on a knowledge you learned. So if you are in this program and you are new being a realtor, one of the key things you must do is everything on a daily basis, you must have a to-do list. What am I going to do based on what I have learned? What am I going to do based on what I've learned? Because if you do not have to do, then there will be challenges. You need to know there must be something you have to do based on what you have learned. So my first request is to say that after you listen, take your notes with the intention of what am I going to do? Because you don't learn until you have practiced. That is very, very key. Then on another note is that our speaker for today, yesterday our speaker was my mentor. Our speakers for today, one is the first person speaking right now is my sister, is my sister. She is going to be teaching from experience. She's going to be teaching from what she has done. And it is practical, I'm very, very sure. I'm sure that at the end of this session, you would have to-do lists, things you need to tick, things you need to execute upon. And so I do not want you for any reason to be distracted. Online classes tend to have a bit of challenge. Tomorrow will be physical in the office, but the first 2 days online, it's easy to get distracted. Something, someone, somewhere, noise, no light, heat, something will just happen. But this is not a class I want you to be distracted on. So pay 100% attention. We are starting about 15 minutes behind schedule, and we have everything needs to go tap. So in 15 minutes, actually, over the next 45 minutes, Olamide Alawakala is going to be taking us on this session. Now, let me explain who this person is. Olamide is my sister, covenant sister. She's my very good friend. But aside from that, she's a business owner. Like, she runs a business in Nigeria. She's an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. She's been doing business for several years. I know that over the past 20 years, she has done one form of business or the other. Currently, she plays in the agri-business space. Producing cashew, producing cassava, producing a lot of chicken that you probably would have eaten one way or the other, producing a lot of egg. She has over 5,000 acres of farmland in Ogbomoso where they have multiple agri products, and currently she's doing something extremely big within the agrotourism space. But she'll be speaking and teaching you on personal branding and how important it is. Now, let me give you one quick story. The project on agrotourism is a project she just started talking about, and she's just talking about it online. She has not marketed, she has not even put out flyers, she has not said this is how much I'm selling. Yet people are going into her DM asking her that they want to buy. Based on what she's shown she's doing, I've gone to ask her, babe, I want to buy. I'm even the one begging her, let me know how much to buy. That is how powerful when you build a personal brand. You will not need to chase clients. So this class is important. There are classes where they'll tell you how to get to chase customers, how to meet customers. We'll get there. But how to become a magnet for opportunities to seek you out based on your personal brand is what we're going to be discussing today. So help me welcome with plenty love in the comments, plenty love. plenty comments on love with love. Olamide Alawakala to the stage. I'll be bringing her on stage now for the presentation on personal branding. I want your comments plenty. Please engage. It is always important because this is a platform where the person doesn't get to see you, but so she can feel you through your comments. So do so by engaging. Olamide, you have the floor. Okay. Sorry, don't mind me. I've done my. Hey, Jesus. Okay, awesome. Okay.
Okay, is there a reason we can't hear Olamide? She's on stage, but her screen is blank. Hello, sis. Can you hear us? Oh, okay, she has to rejoin. She probably has to rejoin.
All
I
right,
think
so we're
there's
waiting for
something.
Olamide to connect with us.
Yeah, yes.
And while we're waiting for that to happen, because she joined the meeting even before the meeting started. So let me just explain to you some of the things we are going to be covering in the course of this particular curriculum. I had prepared to teach the curriculum. I'm still prepared to teach the curriculum. I just feel like my friend is going to make it. I would always be here for you. I would always be here. You would always learn from me. But when you have guest facilitators who are willing to share their knowledge, especially because you can never hear enough experiences. Every experience counts. Your own personal experience might not be mine. My experience would differ from yours. And so the more people you get their experiences on board, the easier it will be for you. So I'm trying to see how to I'm trying to connect back with Olamide to bring her on board. Her screen was frozen, literally. We couldn't hear anything. Larry, I've sent a link to Olamide on how you can join. You're meant to be watching on YouTube, not on StreamYard. So amazing. Olamide, can we hear you? Just so that we are sure that.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, very clearly. Fantastic. We are good.
Okay, good. So the network has just been messing up over here. I don't know why.
Wow.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. I'm so excited to be here. Okay. So this is the Realtors class, right? Okay. I can't hear them, right? Tokwe?
So I told them to comment because that's the only way they can engage you.
I can't hear anybody, right? I can only hear myself, right? I want to know how this works.
Yes. You can only hear yourself.
I can
And
only
those
hear
of
myself.
yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Oh my gosh, this is a first for me. Okay. So I hope I can't see faces. Then I have to be seeing comments because I have to know that I am talking to people and people are interacting with me in the class. So please, I would love to see your comments. I'm so excited to be here. Talk about, thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for doing this in a time like this, where people are complaining about the economy, complaining about their income, complaining about several things. This is a pathway, and I want to thank you so much for doing this. So Topa said a lot of things about what I do. I don't need to say all of that again because time is no longer on our side, and also because I'm not sure what's going on with the network. So my name is Olamide Alawakala. I operate in the agribusiness space. I am a serial entrepreneur. I don't even know what that means, but I dabble my hand in a little bit of here and there. And I have been in business for over 20 years. So you know that we have evolved. We have done so many things that did not work, and we have done things that are working. So we have evolved over the years. And Tokwe Mark Odige is my sister, and we have been friends and sisters for the last 10 years. Last 10 years. Please, I also want to ask another question. Is it possible for me to share my screen? I can present, right? Let me see if that is what it is. Okay, share screen. So, share screen, okay. Oh, gosh. Okay, so, screen and system audio recording. Man, I don't know how this works. Okay.
Yes, it's possible for you to share your screen actually. If you
Okay.
click on the present button at the lower part, you just click on share screen
I
and
have
select the
done that.
relevant tab.
Okay, I have done that already, and I'm trying to see how I can do this. I'm so sorry, guys. This is my first time using entire screen. Okay, you know what? It looks like this is going to delay us because I don't seem to be getting it. So I'll just go ahead and I won't share my screen, and I will just open my screen for myself here. I was going to share a picture of me and Tokwe from 10 years ago with you guys before I started sharing my slides, so that you can see what we looked like 10 years ago when we met each other at a leadership class. Because I am a leadership enthusiast. I am a John Maxwell Fellow, and I believe so much that everything rises and falls on leadership. Now, today we're going to be talking about personal branding. Personal branding. And a lot of people have misconstrued what personal branding is. Some people think that personal branding is their logo, their colors, the fonts they use, the way they design their page, the way they lay out their page, and all of that, or the people that are following me. It's not all about that. While all of those things are very important, all those things are brand awareness. They are not personal brand. They are not who you are as a person. They don't tell a story of who you are. Personal branding is supposed to tell a story of who you are, what you stand for. And when people see and listen to your message, when people see you and also listen to your message, they can say, okay, this is what this person is all about. What makes you authentic? What distincts you from the crowd? What makes you different? That is your personal branding. So I tell a lot of people, I said, see, because personal branding is very dear to me. And the reason why I say this is because personal branding sometimes leads to automatic sales. And people do not know this. So I was telling, like, Tokwe, okay, let me go back to what Tokwe was saying before she opened the class. Tokwe said that I had been just giving out posts on something that I'm working on in the agrotourism industry, and I have not advertised it yet. I have not posted any video of come and buy. I have not posted the price. I have not posted anything that has to do with sales on Alafia Village page. But people have been reaching out to my personal DM to ask me, what is Alafia Village all about? How do I invest in Alafia Village? In fact, so people have silently bought slots from behind the scenes just by what they see me post on my Instagram page. Just by the message they see me post on my Instagram page, just by the events they see me go to, just by the relationships that they see me build on my Instagram page, they've been able to say, okay, this person is authentic. This is the person that we want to relate with. This is the person that we want to identify with. So they follow me. They follow my messages. And when they see me pushing out something, they're interested in being a part of it. Not necessarily because they think that that product will translate into something for them. I think for them, it is even secondary. For those that are reaching out to me right now, because those that are reaching out to me right now are those that know me in my personal space online, not know me personally, don't get me wrong. Yes, those that know me personally are also reaching out, but those that don't know me personally, that just know me on the streets of social media. I've gone to my DM to ask me, okay, Mrs. Preneur, how can we be a part of this thing that you're doing at Alafia Village? And that is me not saying anything yet, because I have sold myself first. And that is the first thing everybody needs to think about. You can't be in the real estate space. You cannot even be in the I want to sell Gary space and not work on your personal branding. So now imagine that you're in the real estate space. You want to collect millions from people. You want to collect millions from people, and yet you stand for nothing. The world has evolved. The world has changed. Yes, it's good to do advertisements. It's good to do Facebook ads. You can say, okay, by the time I do Facebook ads, people will come into my space and want to buy from me. No, sometimes people need to connect with the core of who you are, first and foremost, before they can even think of buying. Because once they know you, they have to like you. And when they like you, they have to also trust you. Trust what you stand for. And unfortunately, people who are not trustworthy, people who are not transparent in the real estate industry are cashing out because they understand this principle of personal branding. They understand it so well. I'll give you 2 examples. I know somebody who is not even 40 yet. Let me put age. I'm trying to be careful here. I know somebody in the industry who has so many followers, so many, what's it called? I think the personal branding is just too top notch. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. The identity, they're talking about the Christian vibes, this is what I stand for, the integrity of, this is who I am. And this person, I've heard so many stories behind the scenes that this person is not trustworthy, this person is not this, that this person is not forthcoming when it comes to selling land to people, but this person is cashing out. This person is cashing out because this person understands these principles. Personal branding is a principle. In life, whatever you garbage in is what you garbage out. Whatever you garbage in is what you garbage out. Whatever you invest in, whatever you deposit in is what you can, whatever you invest in, put deposits into is where you can withdraw from. So if you don't put efforts into crafting a story of who you are and what you stand for, people will not follow you. The second story I will give you is a guy who was living in my boys' quarters. This guy was living in my boys' quarters, and I remember this was about 2021, this 4 years ago. And this guy would come and meet me and say, Ma, please, I need your help. I don't think I'm cut out to work, but I just know that I can be a part of your sales team. I can drive your sales. I can blah, blah, blah. Just give me this amount of money. And I said, you know what? I like to take a chance on people. I like to take a chance on youth because, you never can tell. So I gave him some money. But I knew that the story was giving me about, when I run the social media ads, when I do this, Ma, he said, all I need, Ma, is 30,000 naira to do this. And you'll see the results I will give you. Okay. I told the office to give him 50,000 naira. He asked for 30,000 naira, right? I told the office to give him 50,000 naira. He spent all of that 50,000 naira on ads. At that time, ads were still very cheap. Facebook ads were very cheap. So he spent all the 50,000 naira on ads right there in my boys' quarters. And the guy had no result. Not one single result. He was frustrated. And I spoke to him, advised him. I said, listen, that is not the way you go about things. People do not know you. People have not liked you. People have not trusted you. They have not seen a trail of you online. They've not seen a trail of you maybe on LinkedIn somewhere. And you just expect that they will see an ad of you telling them to come and buy land and they will just buy it. It's not possible. What do you stand for? What? I know Mrs. Grace must have taught you yesterday about confidence, about how to step out, about how to make sure you're doing the right things, to be able to get sales and all that. She has gingered you up. Your spirits were lifted up yesterday. But I want to tell you today that with everything that she said, with the confidence that you're building on the inside of you, if nobody knows you, nobody cares about you. You can have all the confidence and then it will translate into nothing if people cannot find a trail of who you are. Personal branding is based on your story. First and foremost, get these 3 things right, please. Number 1, your story. What story do you have to tell? Where are you coming from? Where are you coming from? Who are you? That's the first thing, your story. People have to be able to connect to your story. And the second thing is your why. Why are you doing what you are doing? Why? If you're just doing it because, oh, if you're just doing it because I want to make money, I want to make ends meet, nobody's going to buy from you. Nobody. And the third thing is your vision. I've said 3 things: your story, your why, your vision. Where are you going to? If you understand where you're coming from and you're able to tell that story clearly online, because let me tell you something, a picture tells a picture tells a whole lot of story. A picture tells a whole lot of story. There's a woman who's been following me, and she's been following me. She started following me, I think from Tokwe's page. I think she started following your view. She was following Tokwe, and she started following me. And then the first thing she saw on my page was this lady was always going to the farm. You understand? And then she was never interested in buying anything from us, but she just said I used to go to the farm. And I would sometimes, my caption would tell stories about what happened on the farm, what we went to do that day, blah, blah, blah. And then one day she saw me eating mango on my social media page. And I can't remember what my caption was because this was like 4 or 5 years ago. And this woman that same day came into my DM and said she wanted to be a part of what we were doing. She wanted to buy land from us just because she saw me eating mango. So now when I tell you personal branding, it doesn't mean that you have to be all lit up with the lipstick. You have to be all glammed up. You have to be, it's not just about that. It's your story. It's your story. Your why. The reason behind what you're doing. And then people can see that this person is going somewhere. Your vision. Now, let me tell you something. Some people might not be able to spell your end game. They might not be able to say, oh, this is where this person is going to. But they can see that this person is going to an expected end. That is desirable. And I would like to follow this person. And that's one of the reasons why I tell you that everything rises and falls on leadership. If people are following you, it's because you are leading them somewhere. And that is why they're following you. Simple. Because you are leading them somewhere. That is why they're following you. Not because of anything. Not because I post the most beautiful pictures on Instagram. No. Or not because, please, can you still see me? Okay, no. Okay. I want to know in the comment section. Can you see me, please? In the comment section, can you see me? Please let me know if you can still see me. Okay, thank you. So, not because of what you are wearing, or because some people follow people because of that. I mean, if you're in the fashion space, that's different. If you're about to sell fashion and people are following you because of what you're wearing and all of that, that's different. But in the real estate space, you can imagine you telling someone to come and buy a land of 10 million, and even you're looking like 200,000 naira. In fact, you're looking like 50,000 naira. Who would follow you? And like I said before, it's not all about the glamming up. It's about looking respectable. So in all of these things, you're talking about your story, you're talking about your why, you're talking about the vision, where you are going to. All of these things would help you to be able to position yourself, which is the most important thing. And when you're able to position yourself, you're going to attract people onto you. And when you attract people onto you, the first step is that they see you, they want to follow you, they like you, then they are getting to know you, they are trusting you. And the only way you can do this is by shedding light on who you are and your values. So like I said, this guy collected this money from me and did not produce any result. And I spoke to him and I told him, you need to work on yourself first. If you go to my page, Mrs. Prenio, and you see some things, there's some, what's it called? There's some posts I put there about maybe reasons why you're where you are. So I can't remember the title. But one of the first things I tell people to do is invest in yourself. Invest in this place. Invest in it. Before you invest in wardrobe, invest in this. I was listening to my mentor, one of my mentors, and he was saying that for the first 4 years of his career, he was wearing 3 white shirts and he had only 2 jackets. And nobody knew. In fact, they said by the time this place got torn, he told the tailor to change it to the other side. He went to the tailor to remove this place, and then he turned it to the other side so that they wouldn't know that place was torn. Because he still had to look good on a budget. So you can look good on a budget. So he was looking good on a budget, and yet he was delivering his message. Because we live in an age now where if you don't share your values, if you don't share what you stand for, if you don't share the authenticity of who you are, you cannot attract those that are called unto you. You are not called to everybody. And everybody is not called to buy from you. But what makes you you? What makes you you? If you share it out there, you will attract those that are supposed to buy something from you. Shows you have to shed more light on who you are and your values. Shed more light on who you are and your values. You know what I'm going to do now? I'm going to quickly share my slides with Tokwe. So Tokwe can kindly share it. I don't know if there's a group, if you guys are in a group or something, maybe she can share it with you guys so that you guys can see, because sometimes I like when people are visual about, when they have visuals to see what I'm talking about. So shed more light on who you are and your values, because content in 2025 is queen. Whether you like it or not, content is queen in 2025. So you cannot afford to be in the real estate industry and be shying away and say you don't want to be out there. Oh, I'm camera shy. Of course, you can do a faceless brand if you want to do a faceless brand. You just have to be more strategic and work twice as hard so that people can trust your faceless brand and have a lot of testimonies to show that, yes, this is what this business stands for. So you have to shed more light on who you are, because content is queen. So visibility, I just want to run through the slides quickly. The more visible something is, the more it will grab attention. The more visible something is, the more it will grab attention. You cannot afford to say that, oh, you don't want to be online. After all, some people are making it online. Those that are making it offline, sorry, some people are making it offline. I mean, I've said that before to myself. There's people that are making it offline, yes. But let me tell you something. You cannot afford to be in the real estate industry and be offline. No. You can afford to have an amala joint in Shitu and be offline, because the amala you are selling is enough to serve all of the people in Shitu. I mean, is it Shita? In Shita? Or Marsh Allowance? Or Ketsu? If you're selling amala in Ketsu, all you need is those people that are in the environment that come to work there, that have left their houses to come to work in Ketsu, or that live in Ketsu. Those are the people you want to serve. So you can afford to be offline. You can afford to be. But if you want to be smart, you get on child deck. And make sure that you're selling to people not just in Ketu, you're selling to people in Lekki, you're selling to people in Victoria Island, you're selling to people in Ikoyi. But will you be fine if you're not online? Oh, yes, you will be. But you cannot afford to be in real estate. You want to sell land of millions and say that, okay, it is only the people that I know that are around me. When there is a whole world out there in Nigeria and in the diaspora that you can reach out to. I will tell you for free today that over 60% of the clients that we have that have bought land from us are not in Nigeria. They are in the diaspora. So if we were not online, if we were not on Facebook, if we were not on Instagram, if we're not on on Twitter, if we're not on YouTube, even YouTube, tell me, how would we be able to get across to these people? And that's just to let you know that, and out of this 60% I'm talking to you about, I've probably seen only 2% of them. I haven't seen the rest. So if the personal branding and the positioning was not strong enough, do you think they would have bought from us? They wouldn't have. So your personal branding is very key. And please, I said in the beginning, do not confuse personal branding with brand design. Do not confuse it with brand design or brand awareness. Don't confuse it with logo. All those things matter. I'm not saying they don't matter. They really matter, but they are secondary. The name of your business, the logo of your business, all those things, they matter. But they are secondary to your business. And the only time when the name of your business matters is when people begin to identify you as the business. So you want to be careful when you are picking a name. That's one of the things I have. In fact, that's one of my greatest strengths, picking names for businesses. One of my greatest strengths. I have done it for several friends, picking names for them. Even for some of my staff that want to become entrepreneurs and they come for advice and I explain to them, I say, don't do it this way, do it this way. If you put out this name, look, we live in a global village now. You don't want to name your business a Molet Toton. What's the name of a Molet Toton? You understand what I'm saying? So, like Umera now, that's the name of our farm, Umera Farms. Umera Farms is Aremu. If you look at it very well, look at it, flip it from the other side. It's Aremu. It's my father's name. But I know that if I called Aremu Farms, it's not a bad name. Aremu Farms is it sounds very nice to me, but I just felt that a lot of Nigerians will not allow it to sound nice. So that's why I decided to flip it, Umera Farms. And today, in the estate that I live in, when I'm driving into the estate, they don't even know my name. They just say, Umera, Umera, Umera. The brand is traveling. So that's by the side. I decided to chip that in, sorry. So I was giving you a story about about the guy that was living in I almost mentioned his name. So this guy, when I gave him some tips, I just noticed that this guy told me one day, I said, man, I'm leaving. I want to go back to Lagos, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay, no problem. And then one day, I see this guy online teaching, talking about business, talking about leadership skills, talking about, and I'm wondering, okay, what's going on here? What's going on? And then he did not stop. At this point, he had probably like 500 followers. He did not stop. I kept looking at it. 1,000 followers. And then he got to 2,000 followers. He got to 3,000 followers. He got to 5,000 followers. And then he got to 20,000 followers. And now the guy is selling real estate. Now he's collaborating with people in the real estate space and selling real estate for them. So people who have very big estates, and then he carved out a part of that. Okay, can I call it my own name and help you sell? And then he was doing that. And then all of a sudden, when it was happening, he had gathered money, he had invested with a few people, and he bought his own land. And I'm like, okay, what's going on here? But he's still selling for other people. He's still a realtor selling land for other people. So I'm wondering to myself, hey, this guy has stepped up. He doesn't wear the normal t-shirts he used to wear before and the jeans that he would just wear with his slides. Now I'm seeing him in Buba and Shokoto with filler every time. You can never catch him on Instagram that's his own style. I'm not saying it has to be your style, but he's always kitted up. No, I think size is not to his advantage. He's small in nature, And then he realized, okay, because I'm small in nature, I have to make sure that I cack up and look different so that people can respect me when I come out. Now, do I know if he has only 2 or 3 bubas? I don't know. Do I know if he has only 4 attires of that Buba Shukoto? I do not know. Probably when he started out, maybe that was all he had. And maybe two what's it called, filler. But the guy came out looking respectable, looking, on point. And then he was sharing messages about people and how to help them with their businesses, how to get to the next level, he was probably reading books and was sharing information from that book, from the books he was reading, from the YouTube messages he had gotten. And he did not allow anybody to tell him, oh, look, which business have you run before you can do this? He was sharing truth. It was visible. It was in the eyes of people. It was in the face of people. There was top of mind awareness. Grab that. There was top of mind awareness for who he was and what he stood for. And then when he came to the time when he was going to tell people that he was selling land, he didn't have a problem. He probably started converting maybe 1% of his followers. And after a while, he was getting testimonials. He was posting it. Then he will invite them to a Zoom session. And then he will talk about people who come and give testimony about the land they bought from him. He will show videos of when they went for site viewing and all of that. But I don't want you to get stuck on, oh, I have only 1,000 followers. How will I get to 20,000 followers? Oh, how will I get to 40,000 followers? It's not about that. Because sometimes there are people who have 100,000 followers and who have the quality of followers that someone who has 1,000 followers has. I'm telling you. Especially when you go on all those blogs that have millions of followers, if you see them post an ad for someone, if you see them post an ad for a respectable, because I wonder why respectable companies will go to some dirty blogs to go and advertise. If you see them post an advertisement for a respectable company, you'll see that the engagement is extremely low. Why? Because the kind of people that are following those blogs cannot connect to the product that is being advertised on that page. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I don't want you to get stuck on thinking that personal branding has to do with the number of people that are following you. No. Whilst the number of people following you is good, is important, the quality of the people that are following you matters the most. So stay authentic to your story. Stay authentic to your journey. And don't deviate. And this would help you to expand your social network. I have friends on Instagram, friends online that I have never met before, that know me, that like me, that trust me, and buy from me. And I've built relationships with them. So I've built relationships online and offline. And as a realtor, you don't want to get stuck in just being in one space. You want to be seen both online and offline. The more people see you, the more the top of mind awareness gets, okay, I'm seeing this guy everywhere. Okay, I'm seeing this lady everywhere. And you'll be like, okay, I think I want to buy from her. There's this lady I follow on Instagram, and she uses fashion to express who she is. That is her. She uses fashion and dance to express her authenticity, to express what she likes. And then she's a what's it called? She's an attorney. She's a lawyer. She's a divorce lawyer. So I'm wondering to myself, I was telling my friend just before I got on this live, I said, if I were to be living in Miami and I were to ever get a divorce, I would want this lady to represent me. Just because I feel like I have known her. I feel like I trust her. Because sometimes when she's dancing, she's telling you stories about how to do this, how to do that, how not to be a fake person, how to connect with people. Sometimes she's telling you stories like that. She's telling you how to eat healthy, She's passing on messages while she's dancing and showing off her fashion. That is her own personal branding. That is how she chooses to show up. How are you choosing to show up? To reflect your story, to reflect your why, to reflect where you are going to. How do you choose to show up? And if you know that you cannot connect to yourself right now to be able to decide that this is how I want to show up, you can be very smart and copy like an artist until you figure out until you figure out what you want to, how you want to connect, with who you are. But the earlier you're self-aware, the better. The earlier you know what works for you and what doesn't, the better. But the truth is, in doing, in engaging with the unfamiliar, because for some people this is unfamiliar. This is unfamiliar horizons for some people. In engaging in the unfamiliar, you can try out some things. If it doesn't work out, you keep tweaking. You can try out some things. And say, okay, let me see this person's, look for a very somebody something is working for, and say, okay, I can decide that, okay, this divorce lawyer, I want to just do what she does, invest in looking good and then dancing on Instagram and then passing up a message and all that, and maybe that will help to build my brand. But don't forget, you have to share stories. You cannot just come and be dancing empty dance and be twerking on Instagram and think that is what people would connect with. No. Even though people connect with it at the early stage, don't forget I mentioned that the quality of people that are following you matters. You are selling products that are worth millions. You're not selling any other products. You're selling products that are worth millions. And people want to be able to trust you to put these millions in your hands. So you make sure that your story, your why, and your vision are well connected to position you in such a place that people can connect with you. I think I've said this, the sales funnel stage, you attract people with your authenticity, you engage them. After you have engaged, like the story of the guy I told you, after you had engaged, and then he started informing them about what he was doing. Informing them about the things. He wasn't really saying, come and buy. He would just be showing videos of how he went to sites, of how they started building the fence. He will show, the different stages they got into, and people started reaching out to him. And then he started converting them to clients. And in this business, conversion is king. If you like, have 10,000 people following you. If you like, 5,000 people following you. If you aren't converting, you ain't doing nothing. Did you hear that? If you ain't converting, you ain't doing nothing. So conversion is king. Conversion is the king. Content, I said earlier on, is queen. Yes, queen, well seated, but conversion, Oba, that is the king. So you want to get to a point where you are converting the people that are following you to become your clients, to become people that are paying you for the services that you're offering. So the first stage I mentioned, attract, educate and create awareness for those who are problem unaware. However you choose to do that. A lot of people have gone in now talking about, okay, you find out that if you go to real estate pages, you see people talking about government consent, talking about C of O, talking about how not to get into trouble. Some people are taking it from the law angle, telling you about, okay, if you have this is what the lawyer's position on this is what blah, 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 this on this. The other guy I talked about, I was living in my boys' quarters, went a different route entirely, was talking to businesses generally, was talking to people generally, was talking about leadership skills, was talking about life, was giving examples about mistakes that people make when they start businesses. He was educating, he was creating awareness, and people were getting, and he was talking about doing business in Nigeria. I hope you got that. He was talking about doing business in Nigeria. So when he was talking about doing business in Nigeria, people who are in diaspora want to understand how to do business in Nigeria, so they are following him. So when it came for time to buy, they already trusted him to buy from him. Because he had attracted them, he had engaged them, helped them realize that, look, there's a problem here. And then he converted them into clients. So personal branding is how you position yourself in the market space. Your Instagram page your LinkedIn page is your marketplace. The places you go to, the conferences you go to, when you show up, is your marketplace. The way you speak is your marketplace. The way you connect with people is your marketplace. You have to be intentional at all times to understand that, look, I am the product. And everywhere I show up, I am in the marketplace. I am the product. And everywhere I show up is the marketplace. That consciousness has to be there. And that is what is going to help you to convert and be able to 10x your business. I can say that our time is fast spent, and I don't want to extend, but I think that with all that I have said, one thing I want you to take away today is to be authentic in sharing with the world who you are, what you stand for. Craft a story of where you're coming from. Craft a story of why you are going to where you're going to. And craft a story of what your expected end looks like. And that is your positioning. And if you're able to do that well and excellently well, people will flock and you'll be able to convert them. Thank you so much for listening to me. Tokwe, you have the floor. I'm so glad the network did not act out.
The network tried, they tried. Don't mind me, I'm eating. That's why I'm trying to quickly arrange myself.
See this woman?
I was telling them that they should not eat while we are doing our class because I know that I'm going to eat. Dapo, are you there? We would have loved to do.
Yes, I am here. I'm here.
Okay.
I can take over. Don't worry. But the food remain part of the food for me. Thank you. All right. So, thank you so much. I think I can call you Auntie Olamide, and I think that's like yes, because if I say Mr. Olamide, it might look so bad. So Auntie Olamide, Eshegon, thank you so much for everything that you shared with us. We appreciate your time. We know and understand how it may have been a bit, trying to move this one around to make sure that you showed up here. We do not take it for granted. We're very grateful, and may God continue to replenish your knowledge and wisdom, and may Umera Farms continue to grow by the leaps and bounds. Thank you very much. We're very grateful. Very grateful. Before you go, I don't know, but I can't see any questions in the comment section. So I would want to, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please, we like to do this really quickly, so that we don't keep our guests waiting for too long. If you have any questions you want her to answer, we will take just 2 questions, and then we are out of here before we come back for the next session where we confirm our speaker show up time for the next session. So please, if you have any questions, drop them real quickly. I'll give you 1 minute for that. If I do not see a question in 1 minute is too long. 30 seconds. If I don't see a question in 30 seconds, then I assume everybody is fine and we can.
It's important to ask questions.
So people should ask. You should ask. And I think I want to, while we're waiting for questions, I think I want to add a should I solely say, is it contribution or something to everything that our guest speaker has shared. I could advise you to do this. Now you've heard that you should have your story, you should have your why, and you should have your vision. Your story is your origin, where you're coming from. Your why is why you're doing what you're doing right now, and your vision, of course, is the destination where you want to be. Do you know you can actually record a very simple... Now, if you're on Facebook like I am on Facebook, I'm very active on Facebook. Back in the days, I used to have time to make a lot of videos. Now, I really don't make videos much anymore. I typically use text. You can actually write a bio that captures these 3 things. Your origin, which is your story, your why you're doing what you're doing, and your vision, and you can just pin it to the top of your bio on Facebook. On Instagram, the same thing. A simple video for those of us who like to use Instagram and who like videos, you can actually record this and put it and pin it to the top of your Instagram profile so that when people follow you for the very first time, that is what they see. That is what they see. And that is very powerful because it immediately helps people to categorize you and let you know exactly where you belong in the entire spectrum, because you are selling exactly the same thing that most other people are selling. If they are not buy, if they don't buy from you, they're going to buy from somebody else. So what makes you stand out? When you are in a market where there is a lot of similar offers, one of the strongest ways to set yourself apart is your origin story. For those of you who are familiar with some of the videos we've done regarding some of our estates in Rep 360, you will notice we always start with a story. You will hardly ever see a Rep 360 promotional video, unless maybe we're doing promo and we're doing updates, that starts with this land is located in Kini Kini Kini. You hardly see that because we know we're in an industry where there's a lot of other people. Do you understand? So really quickly to the question, my question is personal branding and brand awareness. Which one should come first? That is an obvious that has been taken care of already now. But anyways, I can let Madam Olamide respond.
I'll take the first question. Informing our stories, can it come from any angle, e.g., weight coaching? Yes, it can. You'll be very, you can, there's nothing you cannot connect as long as it's authentic. You can connect anything. And one thing I would like to share again is that you guys should take advantage of AI. You guys should take advantage of AI because, see, you see this weight coaching you're talking about. Let me give you a story. There's a woman on Instagram. I'm not going to say her name. I know what I'm talking about. She has a prayer group. All they do is prayers. And when she brings somebody, there's somebody in that group that is selling real estate. If she brings somebody in today, say, I'm selling real estate, almost everybody in the prayer room will buy from whoever is selling land. Abi, Tokwe, am I saying something?
I think it's important to just build your community. Now,
so exactly
let me just give you another way to handle weight coaching.
AI to tell you how to use weight coaching to build a community.
Mm-hmm.
And you can use that community can become your that's
very
what
powerful.
It is to do. I'm telling you.
So let me say this. When I was going to go into real estate, the first video I did was that I was pregnant. The next video I did to announce it is that I've been on TV for a few years, and from my media experience, I have seen many stories of real estate scams, and it piqued my interest to want to now play it right. So there I was able to connect my story with where I have experience, which is real estate, which is a media, to this new thing I'm doing, real estate. Because some of you are trying to do real estate, but you don't have any experience in real estate, and you're thinking, people will be wondering, what exactly are you doing? What's your why should I listen to you if you are a weight loss coach, and why should I listen to you about real estate? You can connect it. Oh, I've been a weight loss coach for the past 5 years, but I have not made, and I've made money, but I've not invested my money wisely. And I've now learned about real estate, and I realized, wow, this is a good place for people to lose their weight, add it to their account balance. Lose your weight, add it to your account balance. You have created a story. You have created a connection. So it's about you thinking through. There is nothing that cannot make your story. So let me let Olamide answer the last question, because we need to end, and our next speaker.
My question is, personal branding and brand awareness, which one should come first? Your personal branding should come first. Who you are comes first. Every other thing is secondary. I said that in the teaching.
Yeah, I mentioned that already.
Brand awareness is secondary. It is. And you can find a way to connect both as time goes on.
Over time, 100%. Yeah. Thank you. Please, can we see more love, and thank you for Olamide. I have our slides already. I would send it into the group later this evening. I know if I send it now, all of you want to start reading it as the class is going on. Collect the knowledge first. You go through slides later. So that's why I didn't send it now deliberately. But I have it, and I'll send it to you.
All right.
Like Dapo mentioned yesterday, we're going to cut this stream. We're ending this stream now so that people can get this information in bite sizes and not having to deal with so many things at the same time. So we're going to be ending this stream. A new link for YouTube will be dropped inside the group where you will be able to join the next class with Dr. Sunday Olorunseyi. Now, that is another one that you really, 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 really need to pay attention to. See, everybody I bring, you should pay attention to them because I don't bring fluff. I bring people that have substance and evidence, and that's because I only listen to those that have substance and evidence. So I don't have people that don't have substance around me. If you don't have substance, you and I, we cannot connect anyway. So as it is right now, the next thing is to let you all know, replay this, watch it again, pick your assignments. You need to know the things you want to do. What are the things you want to do based on what you have learned here today? Are you going to do what Dapo suggested? Are you going to try and use AI, like so connect the story? There are many things that has been shared today. Please do not in any way believe that you understood it. Watch again and create action plan and do something this evening concerning what you have done. I have one of my mentees that she came to visit me to become a TV personality, and I told her set up Instagram page, Diction by Daring. Right now, that Instagram page, we set it up in my makeup office there and then. If we had waited 2 days, it might not have been done. Do something this evening. Go online, write a short story, ask AI to help you refine it, put it out there. Do something today to execute on the knowledge you have acquired so far. Thank you so much, Dapo. You can end the stream so we can go on with the other one. Once again, I want to appreciate you, Olamide. You can see all the comments, all the love, all of those that are grateful that you answered their question. Do not